is Johan Abdullah. Hi, this is Siti, his wife. After a few years, they got married. And they have 4 children. Johan, he was employed as a forklift operator at a factory in Senawang Industrial Park for the past 5 years. And Siti, his wife, as a housewife. But one fateful morning, while operating the forklift, he was involved in a freak accident at the factory and died on the spot. The issue occurs when Siti went to claim her late husband's saving from the nearest Employees Provident Fund EPF office. She was told by the officer in charge that Johan had named a non-Muslim first wife, Mala, as a nominee. According to the case study, there are few questions that need to be discussed.
This is question for question 1. Meet Siti and Mala. Mala is a nominee of Johan, which entitled her to enjoy EPF benefits. One of the benefits she can enjoy is she can withdraw the money of Johan's saving. But since Mala is a non-Muslim and the money of the deceased person is a Muslim, so EPF Act 1991 have a provision where Sharia law can be applied in some circumstances. According to EPF Act 1991, under Section 23D Clause 1, the board must refer to Sharia committee since the money of the deceased person is a Muslim. And according to Sharia law, the case will fall under Fara'id, and the rightful person to inherit the saving is Siti, since she is a Muslim and wife of Johan. To conclude, based on their entitlement, Mala is only have the rights to withdraw the money from EPF, but the rightful person to use the money is Siti.
Next, we move to the different kinds of benefit Johan's dependent may be entitled. The first one is survivor's benefit. Survivor's benefit is where a payable to the eligible dependents of an insured person who dies disregarding to the cause of death in the workplace. Hence, the objective of survivor's benefit is to help in providing income and wages to the families, spouse, and children of workers who died due to involved in accidents. In this case, when the employees die, certain family members may be eligible for survivor's benefits. It includes widows, widowers who are divorced, widows and widowers, children and dependent parents. However, the amount of earning of survivor benefits also depends on the number of years the employee worked for their family and depends on the age when they die. However, there are few qualifying conditions under this survivor's benefit. The first one is the person dies before achieve 60 years old and fulfills the qualifying condition either full or reduced qualifying period. The second one is the insured person dies while receiving a pension without look at the age. So, for the second one is Employee Injury Scheme. This was the first scheme that established under Socso. The employees who are applied under these schemes will be protected if they are involved in industrial accidents and employment injury at the workplace. In these employee injury schemes, there are 4 fields that covered for employees at workplace. So, let's look at it. For the first one is the schemes cover the possibility of injury might happen and death in the course of employment to employees. For the second one is this scheme also they covers protection for industrial accidents that may happen at workplace or while traveling. For the third one is accident during an emergency, where an accident which occurs during an emergency at the employer's premises also will be covered. The last but not least is employee injury schemes also provide protection for accidents involving occupational disease, which is the disease resulted due to the exposure at work to various risks. Same goes with survivors benefit. Under employees injury insurance schemes also, there are few qualifying conditions that need to be fulfilled. For the first one is the individual must have been injured at work due to job-related duties. So for the second one is the individual must be an employee of the company who has workers' compensation insurance.
Dependent benefits. Dependent benefits is a benefits that to help the dependent to survive after the death of person. This is because the widow and her children will receive amount of money after the person die. According to Perkeso, this entitled for dependent to whom as an employee dies because of the employment injuries. The daily rate is minimum 30 per day and the widow will receive 3 out of 5 while the children will receive 2 out of 5. Starting 1st May 2005, the widow will receive the benefits for the rest of her life even though she remarries. But for the children, they will receive until they reach 21 years old or get married before the age. So in this situation, Johan dependents are eligible to receive the dependence benefit because Johan died because of the employment injuries. Next is funeral benefit. Funeral benefits is benefit that will pay to the eligible person who is an employee and die due any cause. It will given to those actually manage and payment for the expenditure during funeral process. According to section 29 subsection 1, it will entitled to the person who has died because of work disaster even not reach 55 years old, but he must pay the contribution at least 24 months. And the purchaser will pay either the cost of funeral or RM 2000 wage law. In this situation, Johan dependent are eligible to receive the benefit because Johan died before he reached 55 old, but he died because of accident at workplace and already paid contribution more than 24 months.
The responsibilities of Johan's employer when the accident occurred under Socso Act 1969. Under Socso Act 1969, Section 51 stated payment of amount of benefit outstanding at the time of the death of the insured person. If a person dies during any period for which he is entitled to any of the cash benefits, or when he is entitled to invalidity grant provided under this Act, the amount of such benefit or grant shall be paid to any person nominated by the deceased person in writing in such form as may be specified in the regulation, or if there is no such nomination, to the heir or legal representative of the deceased person. So, the responsibilities of Johan's employer should do when the accident occurs is provides that the amount of cash benefit shall be payable up to Mala, his nominee, of his saving, and including the date of his death in case of disablement benefit, constant attendance allowance, dependence benefit, and survivor's pension.
Continue with question 4, which basically we agreed to focus on 4 types of housing withdrawal under EPF Act 1991. The first type is the withdrawal to purchase a house. This scheme is to enable EPF members to plan for a comfortable retirement where EPF are allowed the members to withdraw from account 2 categories to finance in purchasing a house. It divided into 2 categories, which are individual withdrawal and joint withdrawal with a spouse or family members. There are differences in making withdrawal to purchase a house as shown in the table, and basically the individual withdrawal is pays the entire savings in account 2, while the joint withdrawal is pays the applicant's entire savings in account 2. Eligibility to withdraw under this scheme is to purchase the first house or second house with condition the first house has been sold or the ownership has been disposed. Next, the scheme of reduced or redeemed housing loan, where it allows a withdrawal from EPF account 2 with the approval of financial institution to reduce or redeem housing loan balance or existing spouse paying off theirs. Under this scheme also can be made withdrawal based on two categories, which are individual withdrawal and joint withdrawal. There are also differences in making withdrawal to reduce or redeem housing loan as shown in the table, and the differences could be seen between the individual and joint withdrawal, as the individual withdrawal is on entire savings in account 2, while joint withdrawal is based on the applicant's entire savings in account 2. Eligibility to withdraw under this scheme, where withdrawal loans of first house or second house with condition the first house had been sold and had been disposed the ownership. Next, another two types of housing withdrawal will be further explained by Nurin Farzana.
Next is housing loan monthly payment. All of the Malaysian and non-Malaysian that have been registered as EPF member are eligible to apply under housing loan monthly payment scheme. All of the applicants must below than 55 years old and having at least 600 ringgit in their account too. Basically, under this scheme, the loan balance accounted based on original housing loan payment from the first loan financier or the latest loan balance, which later on we will measure which one is lower to be chosen. Then, the loan redemption letter will be compared against the letter balance in order to identify the eligible withdrawal amount if there are several financial are involved. However, under this scheme, monthly payment withdrawal can be cancelled through three kinds of situation. The first situation is when the loan has been fully settled. Second, when the house has been sold, auctioned, or ownership transferred to another party. And lastly, is when the applicant is have been found guilty of fraud by submitting false document or information. The last type of housing withdrawal under EPF Act 1991 is flexible housing withdrawal. It can be set aside part of the saving in the applicant's account to flexible housing withdrawal accounts. This is to allow the members to obtain higher housing loan amount to purchase or build a house. Besides, under this concept, it is to utilize the current and future EPF saving or contribution value in considerations of providing loan by financial institutions. It also considered as income through the monthly contribution that have been made to the EPF. Lastly, the flexible housing withdrawal must be applied together with buy or build home withdrawal or reduce or redeem housing loan withdrawal.